All right, so as I'm sharing this initial read, I just want you to put yourself in this position. And if you're not a lady who goes to the lady doctor, just make it relevant to you. Um, Picture yourself in this moment, and you can focus this moment for what you do not want to create for your practice. You can also focus this moment for what you don't want to experience as a patient, right? Nobody wants to experience what I'm about to read. So this is me in my book Staffless on page 31. Since as far back as I can remember, I've hated going to the doctor's office. The cold, hard chairs, the shiny floor, the irrelevant pictures on the walls. The ladies behind the glass window who look at you like you're bothering them just by breathing. And the smell, oh man, the smell. Like every toxic cleaner out there was poured into a bucket and smeared aimlessly all over the floor with a moldy, dirty rag. Yep, you know that smell. Sometimes I have to go do my grown-up visits at my grown-up doctor's appointments. Here's the way it usually goes down. I walk in, I'm hit with the smell. The lights are so bright and noisy, already my eyes hurt. There are three other women in the waiting room. They look annoyed, like they've been there for a long time. How long is their appointment time before mine? Am I going to be that annoyed in 30 minutes when I'm still sitting here? I walk up to the counter to not be greeted by a grumpy lady sitting behind a desk that has never been properly fit for her. It's too high and she is too little and the chair is too big. But what do I know? I'm just a chiropractor. She looks up at me, slides open the wall of glass separating us, takes a sip of her Diet Coke, it's 10 a.m., and says, "Insurance card and license, please." In the most annoyed voice possible. Like I am wrong for being there, like there is no wait, and like I am not
Feeling bad
paying.
this morning, but I was like, yes, you stay home. You guys just sit here.
Sorry, guys, hold on. Okay, there we go. She looks up at me, okay, like I'm wrong for being there. Like there is no wait, and like I'm not paying, and like she is not loving me in this moment. Did I do something wrong? Maybe I have body odor, no hello or good morning or sorry for the wait, nothing at all. Yep, I'm a wise ass. So my response goes something like this. Oh, good morning, and how are you? Usually provoking a smile, which cracks the code for some human banter and connection. The truth is that I'm probably the first person who has asked her how she's doing all morning. The truth is she's probably a lovely person and totally overworked, underpaid, and not appreciated. Probably. Then the wait, the awkward wait on the cold, hard chair with the water-stained magazines that are 6 months old and the sounds of the door opening and closing only to watch 3, 4, 5 more clients go through the same rotation to the whole cold, hard chair. So here's the thing, you guys. If we are running a wellness practice in 2026, we have to find a way to avoid that moment. We have to make sure, and then, I go on to say in here, then I wait for an hour and I go into this tiny little room. I'm claustrophobic. I'm also a germaphobe. And I sit on this metal table, butt naked, only to have a stranger walk in, take my vitals, look at the most private part of my body, and say, I'll see you in a year. That was my experience. And I paid like $300 out of pocket for that experience. How do we avoid that in 2026? I think the first thing that we need to do is recognize that that moment needs to be avoided. Sometimes even the most principled doctors, I'll go to their office and they don't know that their office smells like mold. Or there are things on the walls that are completely contradicting what they say they do. Or the person sitting behind the desk, if they do have someone who works at their office, is drinking a Diet Coke at 10 in the morning. And they don't see the discrepancy. Is it my business what they're drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning? Absolutely not. But if you want to grow in a way that supports a family wellness practice in 2026, they are looking at everything. They are looking for a reason to judge you because everybody is throwing something their way. And you get 3 seconds. You get a 3-second window to set a first impression. So whether that first impression comes on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or the phone call or whatever, the text message, the e-blast, the QR code, you want to make sure that that 3 seconds is the most important 3 seconds of the patient journey for that person, or the client journey, whatever word you use there, and you don't screw it up no matter what, because you only get it once. If you're an old timer like myself, I'm 26 years in, I have a little bit of cushion to screw it up, because a lot of the times the person is coming with a referral attached to it. They're coming because somebody told them to go see Dr. Jody. Much different than somebody who comes to me who doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. They're looking at every step of the process. Do they like the way that they're being treated? Especially, with all due respect, I love you guys dearly, especially for our millennials. They want to be treated the way that they need to be treated. So I'm going to go into sharing my screen with you. I have a bit of a slideshow that I put together. We just went to the ICPA convention, and ICPA International Chiropractic Pediatric Association, which is hands down my favorite group of chiropractors out there. They're amazing. It was amazing. It was awesome. And we kept getting the same questions come up over and over as we were at the table for the weekend. So what I wanted to do is put this together to address the questions. Okay. So this is my office any given moment. I will go to my office. I ride my bike because I try to get in as many movement opportunities as possible. So I'm not going with a laptop and a notebook and all the things. It has to be set up. I have to be able to get there and be ready. So I get on my bike. I have my iPad, which is all of, you know how big an iPad is. That's the only thing I bring to my office with me. My iPad is connected to my practice suite. It's connected to Jane app. It's obviously connected to social media. My website captures them, and I'll go over that with you. But these moments that you see on this slide, this is what it's all for me. This is why I'm still in practice, because I get to be part of these moments. I want to make sure that it's kind of like if you are cooking like the most important dinner of your life, and there's appetizers, there's dessert, but you want everything to showcase the dinner, right? The appetizers and the dessert can absolutely be showstoppers and take the attention away from the dinner. These moments that you see on my screen here, they are my main course. They are the reason why I am on the planet. Okay. Besides my kids and my family, obviously. These kids and what I do with them, it changes lives, and nothing can screw up these moments. The phone, the scheduling, the money, all of the stuff has to be figured out so that nothing touches these moments. You look at the picture of me here with this newborn baby. These are babies. These moms don't know me from a hole in the wall, and they hand me their newborn babies. I cannot be distracted by anything. So these are the moments that we're setting up. There are also some kids who come to my office and they bring their doll baby with them. And if I don't spend 5 minutes adjusting their doll baby before I adjust them, they will not let me touch them. I need to schedule in that 5 minutes so that I can have the trust of the 5-year-old, so that I can serve her that adjustment so that her life can be that much better. Okay. So this is what we're setting it all up for. This morning, I had 2 new patients book a 15-minute discovery, one right after the other. This was such a great example for you guys. And I'm sure at this point that this kind of stuff happens because the universe knows that I have this training today, and it needs to give me the perfect examples. They're both the same age moms. They both have the same age babies. I'm 52. I'm running a practice growth agency. I've got a team of 17 people on my end, and my world moves really fast. So for me to remember the names and the ages and the birth story and all of this stuff, I really need to be focused when I've had my first impression meeting with these people. So they go to my website, and this is my website. We just redid it. It's pretty. It says, hey, I'm Dr. Jody. This is what I do. This is what I don't do. They go to my website and they see new friends start here and they click that button. When they click that button, here's a video of me saying, "Hi, I'm Jody. This is what I do. This is what I don't do. Are you in the right place? Okay, cool. Let's keep going on this conversation." And then they see me addressing the elephant in the room. They're worried about cost, they're worried about time, and they're worried about energy. And in this case, are you going to hurt my baby? Is what you're going to do going to hurt? So I have a 1 minute video addressing each one of those concerns. Every one of these videos say, go ahead and book a consultation with me. Let's start there. Then they go into, they see my reviews. I'm not a monster. I don't hurt people. People really like what I do. And then they go into a 15-minute discovery call with me. Here's why I set this up. This is called the lead flow system. I'm here running this practice growth agency. It's growing really fast. I'm writing more books. I'm getting all of these speaking opportunities, but I don't want to mess up this window. Where's the window? This window. I don't want to mess up what happens during this precious time at my office. I need a way to make sure if Sally brings me her baby on Tuesday at 3:30 and at 4 o'clock, Johnny's coming in with his three siblings and his grandma, I'm good to go. I know what to expect so that I can have the extra moments with these babies. Okay. If I have a 10-minute phone call or Zoom call with Tracy and Sabrina about their newborn baby and what they're looking for, and yes, I can meet your expectations, or no, I'm not your person. When they come to my office for that half hour, it's 30 minutes that I get with them to do an exam, do an adjustment if appropriate, and go through the health history and take notes and give a care plan. I do all of that in 30 minutes. Nothing can go wasted. They can't walk in 5 minutes late. They have to walk in 10 minutes early, get settled. If they need to nurse, do that, get hydrated, go to the bathroom, whatever they have to do so that by the time 3:30 hits, they're ready to rock and roll with me because I only have until 4, right? Because that's the only way I can be in practice right now. So that 15-minute discovery call or 10-minute discovery call, it's everything for setting the stage for trust. I answer the questions that come up all the time in case they didn't watch the videos. That's what the discovery call's for. And actually, one of the moms this morning who I was in this call with, she was like, "I'm so glad that you did this because now I'm not nervous. I feel like I can trust you. I feel like this is a good fit." So that one meeting alone, I just want to make sure that I'm recording. Okay. Yes, I am. Once we started with that visit type, we got to a point where I was too busy and people were showing up at my office and I didn't know who they were. I knew that they scheduled through Jane, but Jane didn't give me any kind of a warning. Hey, you have a new patient today. It was just clunky and misguided, and it wasn't working the way that I needed to ride my bike to the office and be ready to rock and roll, right? So once we implemented this discovery call process, it grew really fast. My practice got busier because that's the way that it works. And then I started offering it to you guys, my community members, and it has been a game changer for so many of us. So this is a day in the life. And what I want to do is I want to talk about how we get to a point in practice in 2026. I want to go to this slide. Okay. Here are the 3 stages of a new patient or a new practice member, whatever word you use. The first stage is they're a lead. They're establishing trust with you. They're not a yes yet. They haven't given you anything. They haven't given you their name. They haven't given you their money. They haven't booked an appointment. There's no exchange yet. They're still a lead. Maybe they sign up for something for free, like a PDF on how to remain flexible during pregnancy. I don't know what it is, right? And maybe they give you their name and their email, and then you're in exchange with them. Now they're going from lead to visit one. They're on the journey. If they're just in lead, there are things that you're giving them that you would never give to somebody on the visit one journey. Once they're in the visit one journey, there's a whole other set of what they need. So the moms that I had in my Zoom this morning, they're clearly on the visit one journey. They know that I might be their person, and now I'm establishing trust. Now, when both one of those moms is coming in today, one of them is coming in on Saturday morning, then we're going to be in financial exchange. It goes deeper. Now they're in visit one a little bit deeper, maybe visit one part two. Okay. Once they say yes to care, they're a practice member. That's the third stage. The nurturing that happens from lead to visit one while they're in visit one, and then from visit one to practice member, and then while they're in practice member, and then if they decide to leave, these are 4 different stages of nurturing. Do you guys get it? If you can set the stage for this nurturing to happen well ahead of time, you're going to win. You're going to set yourself up for success so that you're not always putting fires out. And that's the goal. That's the goal of everything that I'm doing. Okay. Any questions about what I just said before we go on? Okay. I want to talk about ChatGPT for a minute. So we started this whole Staffless practice project, for lack of a better term, before ChatGPT came out. When I wrote my book, Staffless, when I wrote The Curious Practitioner, when I wrote the 2 marketing books that we had, I didn't use AI because it wasn't a thing yet. I probably wouldn't because I think that's kind of cheesy. So I had to learn how to get really efficient with ChatGPT fast because it was growing faster than I could keep up with it, and everybody was asking about it. Any marketing convention that I went to, they were talking about it. Anytime I had a discovery call with a doctor, they asked me how we were implementing it. And part of my journey of getting really comfortable with ChatGPT is coming up with this system. It's called the drag method. Who wants to be an example? Who can I put on the spot? Somebody who wants to figure something out for their practice. Can somebody volunteer? Anyone at all? Anyone want to volunteer to figure a problem out for their practice using the drag method?
Jody, I can volunteer.
All right, I love it. So Carrie, give me something that you want to figure out for your practice right now, whether it's um, an email or a system or a whatever. What's something that you're stuck on? I want to get to the side. There we go.
Yep. I need an easy way to send out my recommendations once someone is a practice member.
Okay,
So
cool.
let's say I have a recommendation for a supplement, or like I'm an affiliate with earthly.com. Like, how do I send my affiliate link to them? What's an easy way?
Okay, so what I want you, so the drag method, DRAG, stands for deal. What's the deal? Who, what, where, when, why, how? What role do you want ChatGPT to play? You're going to have ChatGPT ask you a few questions to get more clarity so that ChatGPT can then generate a response. And you guys, I'm going over this with you so that you can go use ChatGPT to come up with the solutions that I'm telling you need. Okay. I'm also going to suggest that you have a plus account, a ChatGPT plus account, because it just gives you a whole lot more access. So the deal is, and Carrie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open up a chat bot and then I can send this to you. Carrie W solution. So I'm going to name it first. So I'm recording now. Carrie, if you can give me the who, what, where, when, why, and how of what you're looking for. Just start talking.
A practice member that is 33 weeks pregnant, already a mom of 1, and she needs a recommendation for magnesium supplement. Also, I need to send her the link for the Sorella belt. And I need to send her a link for, I recommended a No Bite Me cream, which is found on Amazon. And I think that's it.
Okay, so you're looking for a solution to easily gather all of those links and get it to her in an efficient way. Is that the problem?
Yes.
Okay. And would you say that the problem is also there are so many different ways that you could put this together? You want the most resourceful way.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to hit the little check mark here, you guys, and it will generate. This is what we just did is we created a prompt for ChatGPT. Okay, here's the prompt. And what we're asking ChatGPT for is make this really easy to get to the patient. So who is the patient? What is creating a report for them, giving them all of their stuff? When is the day, that day, right?
Mhm.
The day that I see her. Why? Because you're establishing trust. Establishing trust. You want to give her what she came for. And you want to start a new relationship as her doctor, right? New relationship. What's the main thing you want ChatGPT to generate for you? Do you want a tool to come up with all of this information for her? Do you want the actual links for what you want? Do you want a checklist for her? Like, what's the thing you want ChatGPT to generate for you?
Maybe a tool?
A tool for you to use to collect the things while you're with her, like real time?
Um, the easiest way to get her that information.
What
In
is
re-
the easiest way? What's the best system to get her the information you promised her? Okay,
Yes.
so that's D. That's the deal. And I'm not gonna hit enter yet. I'm just gonna hang out here for a minute. Who do you know who has got this going on? Who do you know, maybe somebody who's famous or a mentor in the profession who teaches this type of delivery system to a new patient? It could even be somebody who teaches this type of thing to lawyers or authors. It doesn't matter. Who teaches a delivery system with information after a meeting? It could also be a program. You don't
I
know?
know.
Okay. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say play the role of the top practice in all of, what state are you in, Carrie?
Wisconsin.
The number one wellness practice in all of Wisconsin, how they would put this system together. And also play the role of my mom, who has a lot of concern for me and my time and knows the way that my brain works. So that's role. Ask ask me 3 questions to get more clarity in order to generate the system that I'm looking to develop. G, generate. Okay, you ready? I'm going to hit the check mark. Does anybody have questions while this is formulating for Carrie about what I just did? Anybody at all? Okay. All right, here are 3 questions, Carrie. Where do you want this to live long term? Do you want it to live in your chat GPT, in your practice suite, or on a simple saved note, like a note on Google or Google Docs or whatever?
Probably in my suite.
We want this system to live in her practice suite. Do you want this to feel personalized every time or standardized?
Standardized.
She wants this to be standardized so that there's not a whole lot of creative overwhelm. And then how do you want to deliver to the practice member? Text, email, or both?
Option for both.
I'm super excited to see what it comes up with because I might use it too. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Care resource drop. This is not a one-off message. This is a saved workflow and template. What happens in real time in the visit? Carrie opens a care resource quick template, taps 2 to 3 checkboxes or tags and hits send. That's it. No searching, no typing, no remembering later. Step 1, build the master template. Create a saved message template called pregnancy support resources. And this is the kind of thing, Carrie, where you can take your phone and create a voice memo and say, okay, Staffless team, here are all of my resources. Da, 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 da. Our team will take that list, find the links for it so that all you have to do is hit the checkbox every time you have an appointment with a new mom.
I
Step
love it.
2, store links once, right? That's what I just said. Step 3, create a delivery workflow. So text, you keep text on, you keep email on. And then step 4 is optional but elite level. Add a tagging system. It could be a pregnancy resource sent. You click the tag and it automatically goes, or a supplement support sent. This is where we can really start geeking out using a system in a practice suite. So that's the drag method. You guys, you can do this with anything. It could be figuring out a recipe. It could be figuring out your macros while you're training for a half marathon. Hello, right? It could be figuring out if I'm going to a new city that I've never been to and I want to know, do I want to stay in like a swaggy hotel or do I want to get an Airbnb? What's the best thing to do for that area? You can do the drag method with anything at all. Okay. Okay. So thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you. And we'll send this to you.
Awesome.
So what I'm saying to you is I want you to use the drag method for everything that I'm about to go over with you. And these are the stories that we tell ourselves. We can't take days off. We can't leave early. We can't ever let the phone go to voicemail. We can't do it without staff. We have to find the right staff member and we just can't do it. Yesterday, I was in a discovery call with someone and she kept referring to her office manager as the desk. The desk. That was what she was saying. Her office manager was the desk. Well, the desk does this and the desk does that. And we've gotten to a point where we remove the personal connection so much from our team because we don't know how to manage people because we're not taught in school. It's not the fault of our own that we refer to them as a piece of furniture. So if we can get it right with staff, then there's no problem with having staff. But most of the time, it's not a staff member that's needed, it's a system. If it is a staff member that's needed, they will change your world if you hire the right person. And then we're never going to grow to our full potential. This is another story that we tell ourselves. Here's the system, guys. So this is what we call the 12-step program for a staffless practice successful, like a successful staffless practice. The first thing is preparing. The preparation looks like know your mission, know your vision, know your values, know who your perfect practice member is. Get the basics down, okay? Most of the time, people come into our world already knowing those things, which is great. 2, set up your physical space. If I didn't have an area for payment, an area for scheduling, an area for diapers, an area for snacks, I would be in a lot of overwhelm. I have a new chiropractor. Her name is Sarah. She's amazing. And she came to my office for the first time a couple weeks ago. And she's like, you have thought of every single thing for a mom to be comfortable in this office. And I said, I had to think of it in order to protect my time because I don't have anybody sitting at the front desk. So if you can come up with a list of obstacles or bottlenecks or things that you're getting stuck with for your practice and you create a system for it. And if you don't know how to create the system, use the drag method. I need a system for this. This is the why. This is the what. This is the how. You're going to win. Then we have to figure out our time. When do we want to offer our visits? How long are the visits? When do we want to work? When do we want to play? When do our kids need us? When does our spouse need us? Figure out your time. Then we look at your texting solution, your phone solution, and your email solution. The goal with those solutions, if I go into this practice suite here, the goal is that all of it is one click ready. Meaning if I want to send a text, I want the text message to just be ready to be clicked on. The whole thing is sitting right here. If I want to send this person a review, I want the whole thing, I want it to just be one click. There's one click here to request a review. So when we go through something like the 12-step system, we want the texting, the phone, and the email to be one click ready. Then we want to get organized with our SOPs so that if in the future we do hire a front desk person or a office manager or a marketing agency, whatever it is, we can say, here's how we run our office. Here's everything you need to know. All of the SOPs, all of the scripts, they're right here. Get organized. Have the checklist that you need, have all of the things that you need. Then we want to look at what do we do pre-visit one, and visit two. That's our new client system. Then we look at how do we grow from the inside? How do we grow from the outside? How do we grow online? And then we bring in wise counsel for looking at secondary sources of income. So many people come to us and they're like, I need you to grow my practice for me. And I'm like, okay, that's like step 9, 10, and 11. Let's go down to steps 1 through 8 and make sure you're good on all of them. There's nothing worse than being on this glass ceiling roller coaster where we do the screenings, we do the events, we go up, up, up in numbers, and then we crash. And we're on that for years because we're not looking at the foundation. And the foundation starts with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then dot, 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 dot. Okay? Any questions about that? Especially if you're trying to create an experience for moms and families and dads and kids, right? You have to think about these things in 2026. Okay. If you're interested, I'm just going to throw this commercial in. If you're interested in booking some time with me, go to callwithdrjody.com. Sheena will drop the link in chat right now so that you guys have that. Let's take a look at what you're currently doing and see how and if we can help. Okay. You guys, in my world, it hasn't always been easy to run a practice. It got really bad. At one point, I had 6 women working in my office. I had cameras because I knew that they were stealing from me. I knew their eyes rolled every time I walked through the room. I'm a pretty nice person. I'm very intense and I move really fast. And people either love me or hate me. And if they hate me and they're in my office and they're answering my phones and they're talking about my care to my new practice members, nothing feels more out of integrity. And that I was stuck in it because I did not know how to hire, manage, train, support, nurture, nourish, and fire. I didn't know how to do any of it. And I kept trying and I kept hitting that glass ceiling. My practice was really busy. I owned a huge wellness center and I was miserable. I was smoking. I was really heavy. I was very lonely. I was burnout and I was starting to not like being a chiropractor anymore. And then push came to shove, I got to a situation where I was done. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I have to figure out how to do this whole thing without staff. And I did. I got really good at it. And then the pandemic hit, and all of my friends who had watched the journey, me go through this process, they had just lost their staff because now we're in a pandemic. And they started asking me questions. And that's when I wrote the book, Staffless. So that's the journey that I've been on. And what I want you to know is that the practice member of 2026 is very different than the practice member of 2019. Hey, Carrie, if you needed to make an appointment with your dentist and you got your kids in the car, how many kids do you have, Carrie?
I have 6.
Okay, so you got your 6 kids in the Carrie is my perfect practice member. I would love nothing more than to Carrie to bring in her 6 kids to get adjusted once a month. That would totally float my boat. Okay. Carrie, if you needed to make your appointment with your dentist, would you rather text your dentist or make a phone call?
What was
If you needed to make an appointment with your dentist right now or change an appointment, do you want to do a 10-minute phone call or do you want to send a quick text?
Quick text.
You guys, the mom of 2026, they don't want to pick up the phone and talk about their day, and they don't want to do the small talk. They want to ask Siri to text Dr. Jody to say, I'm coming in 10 minutes late. Is that okay? They want it quick. They want the solution. They want it to be tech savvy ready. They want it to be one click. And if you set it up for them and if you deliver great care to them, they will do anything for you. They will give you reviews. They will let you take pictures. They'll let you do all of the things that you need to do to grow your practice. They'll tell their OBGYN about you. They'll set up what's in your bag mama events. They'll do all of the things to help you grow your practice. You got to do it right though. You got to set it up. And this picture here, it shows you are just you're just the chiropractor or you're just the PT. You're not as a big deal in their world as you think you are because you're in the center of your world. You're just one thing in their world. They have 53 things to do today. You're one of the things on the list. Make it really easy for them to do that thing. Okay. I want to go into our sweet flow system. So when we look at, let me do this, you guys. I want to grab this image and I want to put it next to this. There we go. Okay. All right. This is lead, this top section up here. The idea is that when we're calm and nobody's pulling at us and the phone's not ringing and we have no other responsibility but to work on the growth of our practice, we write an email and text sequence that represents who we are and what we do and what we don't do. You can certainly use ChatGPT to write that workflow, to write that system using the drag method so that when they're in this stage of being a lead, you don't have to worry about the newsletter or the emails. It's all on autopilot. My recommendation is while they're in this lead part, you're sending them one email a week to one email a month, depending on how aggressive your marketing is. In my world, it's one email a month. And the email will talk a lot about why they want to implement chiropractic care into their growing family. I may, if this isn't true for me, but if I decided to start taking care of senior golf players, then I would have another set of lead nurturing emails that talked about how to improve your golf game over 60 with chiropractic care. And the whole email sequence, one email a month, one email a week, whatever it is, I pull from ChatGPT, I make sure I like it, I get rid of all the long dashes, and I put it in my practice suite. I set play, and off to work it goes. And every month or every week, all of my leads are getting what they need to get. Okay? That's true for nurturing leads. That's also true for asking for reviews. You guys saw that cute little button. So the button is here. Let's say that Kelly is standing in front of me and she just had an adjustment. She's like, Jody, you're so awesome at what you do. I can hit this review request button right here and it will send her a text, an email, a voicemail, whatever you want. And it will send her off as long as she gives a 5-star review. It'll send her off to Google or Yelp or Trustpilot, whatever your review site of choice is. Most people are like, I don't know what my review site of choice is. We'll tell you to go with Google then, because we always want more Google reviews. If she's in a bad mood and you send her the review request and she gives you anything less than 5 stars, it comes back to you. It doesn't go to Google. Let's go back to this image. So we go from review flow to call flow. Call flow is this suite right here has a phone number associated with it. And I'll give you guys the phone number so that you can test it and see what happens on my screen. So the phone number is, Sheena, if you can put this in chat, it's 908-641-2335. Again, it's 908-641-2335. And you can just text the word hi or hello or your name or whatever you want. So this becomes, if someone calls this number, I never answer the phone. I don't even have a phone that rings anymore because, as I said, I just bring my iPad with me. If someone calls the number in my practice suite, they immediately get a text. And the text says, hey, it's Dr. Jody. It looks like you're trying to call my practice. Text is the best way to get a hold of us. How can we help? If my suite recognizes that this is the first time someone's reaching out, it will ask for their first and last name too, if they're not already a contact in my suite. We are in the process of perfecting the AI system that will nurture all of this. Nobody has it perfect. Nobody has created it that's flawless because it's so new. So you guys be patient with us, please. We're working night and day to make it perfect. We're almost there. So the call flow system is if someone calls this number, they immediately get a text and with whatever you once said. It could be, if you're new here, go to our website. It could be, I'm going to send you a voicemail in 2 minutes, and then we can set it up so that you record a voicemail, it gets dropped in 2 minutes, and this is all on auto while you're floating on a raft in a pool in Hawaii. Okay, so that's the call flow system. And care flow. Like those 2 moms that came in this morning, they now have cards in my practice suite, in my suite flow system here. Let's say Rebecca is my new practice member, and I move her from here to here. She's going to get an email and a text. And then I move her from here. Her tag gets changed and she goes into a new nurturing sequence. And then I move her to here and X, Y, and Z happens. And then I move her to here and A, B, and C happens. We can also set this board up so that if you change, here's the contact. If you change the contact of this tag, the card moves on the board and all of the things happen. We can set it up any way that you want. There are 100 ways to roam. Okay, so that's the care flow system. Care flow is all about like those 2 moms that I did the discovery call with this morning. They immediately got a text message that said, we're looking forward to seeing you. And they got an email with directions, a video of me giving a tour of the office. All of it is done when it's quiet and nobody's pulling at me. It's not done reactively and it's not done by a person. It's a system. It's an automation. There are moments in a patient journey where automation falls apart, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me just finish. I did recall flow is you create a list in Jane. It's a really easy report that you populate. You download it and you upload it into your suite. You click a button, and all of the people who have not been in the last 6 months get a text and an email. And it makes it so that all they have to do to get back on your schedule or be removed from the list is text back a 1, a 2, or a 3. That's our recall system. So these automations together make up the suite flow. If you guys have no intention of creating a practice suite for your practice, that's totally cool. Figure out a way to do these things and save your time, because you're going to blink, you guys, and you're going to be 26 years in practice. Do not spend your time figuring out how to do this stuff. Let people who have figured it out already do it for you. It's definitely worth its weight in gold. Some people say to us, well, I can't afford it. I can't afford to spend the money or invest the time or make a change. And I beg to differ. I beg to say that you can't afford not to, because time is the only commodity you will never get back. What did I just say I want to come back to? There was something I wanted to come back to. Oh, come on, you guys. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be said. Okay. So if you're not already in my world, book some time with me. And Sheena, you can drop that link again. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and open it up to any questions that you guys have, because I know I went over a lot in this training. What do you guys have? Give me a scenario. Give me a challenge that you're facing. How do you want to move the needle on your practice? And based on today's training, what changes need to happen in order for that to happen? You can ask me questions about marketing, whatever it is. Feels like I feel like I have to take multiple looks at this because I don't understand where to start with this. Tyler, the best place for you to, first of all, I love that you said that. And the best place for you to start is make a list of, this is a great place to start. Make a list of the things that you repeat day in and day out at the office. What do you say over and over and over again? What do you say what do you say so often that you've memorized how to say it? Is it the way that you answer the phone? Is it how you talk about your fee system? Is it the tour of the office? Is it explaining care to a new mom? Is it the hiring, like the SOP for hiring in your practice or the interview process? Typically speaking, those are the things that can be automated because they're done over and over and over again. That's where to start. Create that list and put it in front of me, and I'll tell you exactly where we would start in your world. Okay. Here's where, oh God, it's leaving again. I just had it in my brain, guys. It's gone again. What other questions do you guys have? Oh, I know what it is. Okay. There are moments in the patient journey where it's a really big mistake to automate something. And those moments, they're precious and they can never be taken back. And if you screw it up, you screw it up. And I'm going to go over what those moments are. Most of the other moments can be automated. The moments that cannot be automated is around time, energy, money exchange, saying, this is what I ask of you, and this is what I'm going to give you. Making that agreement with your practice members. I ask that you come on time. I ask that you don't wear perfume. I ask that you share with your friends and family what you get out of coming to my office. Can we be in agreement on those things? Don't automate that. That's a knee-to-knee, heart-to-heart conversation. And then you, hold on one second, Tyler. And then you ask back, or you tell them back, I promise you I'm going to run on time. I promise you I'm going to keep my license up to date. I promise you I'm going to participate in continuing education to further better my skills for you. I promise you fair fees, and I promise I'll always make myself available to you within what I'm able to do. Right. So there are promises for you to give to your practice members and promises for you to ask them of. Don't automate that, please. Don't automate telling, and this is for my family practices, which is what this call is about. Don't ever automate telling a mom or a dad why your care is important for their kid. You can do and then some in automation, but that's a knee-to-knee, heart-to-heart conversation. And it sounds something like this. Carrie, I've been a mom for 21 years. And I can tell you as another mom, if your kids have a chiropractor growing up, it's going to make their life so much easier. I want to be your kid's chiropractor for the rest of their life. I want them to have a Dr. Jody growing up. I want them to know that they can come to my office. And if you give that to your kids, they're going to be so much better for it. That is not an automation. That's a knee-to-knee, heart-to-heart conversation. The other thing I'm going to say is pick up the phone at the end of a first visit that night. Pick up the phone and call your practice member and ask them how they're doing. It's the most important phone call you will ever make in a patient journey. Hey, it's Dr. Jody. I just wanted to give you a quick call before I sign off for the night. How are you doing? What questions do you have for me? It just speaks its weight in gold. Okay, so everything else, pretty much everything else can be automated. I feel like I have to take multiple, right. How do I answer the phone with a greeting? With a greeting. Okay, let's talk about that. How I talk about a care plan, what to expect moving forward, what works for next week for your appointments. Yeah. Oh, these are the things that you say over and over, Tyler. How you answer the phone. You guys, quick and cool on answering the phone. Light Source Chiropractic. That's it. You don't have to go into it's a great day at and we're happy to blah 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 and how can we blah. Light Source Chiropractic. Sound happy, smile when you answer the phone, make it quick because everybody's in a rush. How I answer right, how I talk about it right. What works next week for your appointments? Yeah. How would you like to take care of today's visit? It's the easiest way to ask for money. How would you like to take care of today's visit? I learned that working in the hotel industry. Can you currently handle answering calls that are forwarded to your suite? Can you currently handle answering calls that are forwarded to your suite? Like when you don't have a receptionist here to answer the phone, or is that coming with the call flow? It's really up to you, Carol. It depends on how your practice is run. I don't want my phone answered. My patients don't want to call. They just don't want to call me. So I know that if my phone is ringing at this point, what I know is it's a new patient because my practice members never call me. They just know better. They know that there's no phone to answer. The people who are calling are new patients and they are being greeted, which is part of the call flow system, by the voicemail message funnel, which says part A, part B, part C. It has different parts to it so that you can look at the phone and hear it ringing and trust that if you let it go to voicemail, they're going to get better service than if you pick up the phone because you've already taken care of it. That's the voicemail message funnel. It will automatically be, the call can be forwarded to whatever phone you want. The call doesn't have to be, my calls aren't forwarded anywhere. They just go right into my suite. Some people will say, when someone calls my suite between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., forward it to this cell. So I want this cell to ring. Some people say never forward it, let it go to voicemail and let the voicemail direct them to text. They will immediately get a text if they call the number in the suite. So the point is to push them down this process of getting into a text conversation with you for so many reasons. But the biggest reason is you can have somebody on the other side of the world running those text conversations like a boss, protecting your time, energy, and money. What else, guys? Everywhere they see you, especially when they're in the lead bucket, you want consistency. Consistency of color, consistency of words, consistency of images. Like if you're, let's say you have a practice all about pineapples and bananas. I don't know. If they see you on Facebook, if they see you on Instagram, if they see your website, if they see your signature, if they see your emails, if they see your newsletter, I want them to see pineapples and bananas everywhere. I want them to recognize it and recognize it and recognize it so that when they get to your office, they say, I swear I feel like this place was made for me and I feel like I've been here before, because that's how you set it up. Do you get it? Carrie, the light in your Zoom looks like a person. It looks like a, right? It looks like a head and shoulders. Like you've got like this guardian angel hanging out with you. That is really wild. What else, guys? What other questions do you have? If you're curious about what I'm saying and you don't have the system set up in your practice yet, book a call with me. Let me look, let me look at your website. Let me just sniff around and poke and prod and give you some suggestions. I might say to you, you're good. And that happens probably 30% of the time. I'll get on a discovery call with a doctor and I'll say, you don't need us. You're not ready for us. Go do these things and come back to me. Other doctors, they say to us, I want one of everything, please. Let's go. It really depends on how busy your practice is, what you're ready for, what your budget is. If you're tech savvy, if you are not tech savvy and you're listening to this training, be prepared to have my team run your suite for you because it's not the best use of your time. Go connect with people. That's the best use of your time. What other questions do you guys have? How much does it cost? That's what most people want to know. So when you hire the Staffless team, you're getting a brand team, an admin team, a virtual assistant team, a tech team, a marketing team, a social media team, because we do your social media posting for you too. So you're hiring for about 6 different roles in one, and you're paying less than the minimum wage in the United States for a full-time team member. That's how I can answer that question. If you are tech savvy and you don't need to hire our team, you just need the thing built for you and then to hand it over to you, and you have all of those people on your end, you're going to be spending somewhere between $200 and $500 a month. And that monthly payment will replace texting, phone, website, in most cases, fax, e-blast software, uh, Acuity or Calendly, whatever you use. It's all on one bill. Yeah. What else? Okay. I think I went over all of the pieces I wanted to share today. For my clients who are with us, spending time with us in Zoom today, I really appreciate you being here. I hope you learned something new. If you are not yet a member of the Staffless Practice community, if we're not servicing your practice yet, reach out to me. You're leaving a lot on the table, I promise you. There are a lot of really exciting things happening on this side of the computer. So stay connected. Come to all of my trainings because every week we're launching something new and it's a really exciting time to be part of it. Okay, I'm loving you guys from here. Go make the world better with great care. Thanks for listening.